Google phones. This is the new Google Pixel 2, and this is the Pixel 2 XL. These phones are pretty much like last year's Pixels. They're just thinner and lighter and a little bit cleaner designed, and they're finally waterproof, thank goodness. But they still have that two-tone back, the fingerprint reader, and crazy good cameras. All the differences between these two phones are actually really minor, which is great. You're kind of just picking which size you want. The Pixel 2 has a 5-inch OLED screen, and the XL has a 6-inch OLED screen. They both have two speakers on the front, they both make phone calls, you get the idea. Personally, I like the XL a little bit better because it has these smaller bezels and a slightly rounder edge. It just feels a little slicker to me. But maybe you like smaller phones. That's totally fine. They're pretty much the same thing. Since this is Google, you get all the Google stuff you'd expect too. Like the newest version of Android without any weird customization or bloatware, and I cannot explain to you how nice that feels. With this phone, you'll get faster updates and you won't get bogged down in Samsung's weird ideas about design. You just get Android. And you get the Google Assistant, which is getting better all the time. What's the first thing on my calendar tomorrow?
That meeting is called Drive to Monterey and is tomorrow at 7:30 a.m.
One new thing on this phone is that you can actually squeeze the sides to get to Google Assistant, which theoretically makes it faster to get to. I say theoretically because it doesn't really work all that well. If you make it super sensitive to your squeeze, it'll go off every single time you try to put your phone in your pocket. If you go too far the other way, you have to put it in a vice grip just to get it to work. I'm sure there's a sweet spot somewhere, but I haven't found it. Google moved the search bar down to the bottom where your finger can reach it easier, added a handy new widget with whatever info you need at any time, and has some cool new wallpapers. All this stuff will end up on other Android phones, I'm sure, but Pixel gets it first. It's fun to be first. I mean, otherwise it's just a high-end phone. Fast processor, good fingerprint reader, yay fingerprint readers, by the way. No headphone jack, ugly adapter for the no headphone jack, USB charging, no wireless charging, which sucks, day-long battery life, the works. It's not as impressive looking as the Samsung Galaxy S8 or the Essential phone, but it's just as powerful, and you get pure Android. I'm into pure Android. Now, the camera. The Pixel 2's is incredible. I took this phone to New Orleans and used it to shoot gators in the swamp, drunk people on Bourbon Street, other drunk people other places, and almost everything I shot looks fantastic thanks to Google's software. It really is just software. It's just a 12 megapixel camera on this phone. But Google's algorithms are good enough at detecting faces that it can do that soft background portrait mode with one lens where the iPhone needs two. I still think the iPhone's portraits look a little better, but the Pixel is pretty impressive, and it can do them with the selfie cam too. This camera can shoot in slow motion up to 240 frames per second, it has really impressive stabilization for videos, it does HDR, and it's amazing in low light. Again, almost all of that is software. And here, by the way, might be the best part. If you buy a Pixel 2, you get unlimited storage in Google Photos, which means your phone will never run out of space. And you know, it's like they say, the best camera is the one that has space for photos. That's what they say, right? Just like Apple with the iPhone, Google has big plans for the Pixel camera in the long run. Right now, there's Google Lens, which turns your camera into sort of a visual search engine, which is new and limited, but pretty neat. This is the stuff that makes Google interesting. It's that combination of hardware and software and AI and search and cameras and all the creepy data Google collects about you all the time. That's what comes together to make its products unique. But this phone, just by itself, is fantastic. It does everything a high-end phone should, does it all well, and has almost no bad ideas about how a phone should work. And it works if you throw it in a pool. Google's not trying to compete with Samsung here. It's not trying to have the most power and the most features like the Note 8. It's trying to be more like the iPhone. Simple and easy and understandable, but still awesome and powerful. Plus, this thing takes amazing selfies. What else could you want? Play the IKEA ASMR video.
Playing the IKEA ASMR videos on YouTube.